As you can see on the first slide, the subtitle is called the Intelligent Call Me button. And this is what I will be explaining to you, why the Call Me button is more than just a simple button. During the presentation today, I will briefly explain what widgets are and why you need them. Then I will introduce the first two versions that innovaphone provides. To do this, I will switch from the presentation to our website. To help your general understanding, I will be showing and explaining a diagram of the system architecture. The issue of security is a high priority for widgets, and I will be presenting this separately to you. To show how easy it is to install and customize widgets, I will speak a little bit about the technology and especially what it means for webmasters. So this is where I will show you how easy it is to do your own customization and to translate the text. Finally, I will show you what is currently being developed at innovaphone, so you know what you can look forward to in upcoming releases. The widgets optimize your communication to the customer with contact persons on your website who are actually available. Phone calls and video calls are available for your potential customers free of charge. Visitors can make use of this without having to install any software. The visitor needs neither a password nor does he have to click on any link sent via email. So let's have a look at a typical scenario. A potential customer finds your website by searching Google. And after this potential customer has looked around your website, he still has some questions about your product. On the website, the customer discovers a contact slider and sees that the contact is available, and then he decides to make a video call. This takes place via innovaphone widgets. They are based on WebRTC, and RTC stands for real-time communication and is already implemented in many browsers. WebRTC uses secure protocols, and thanks to the Opus codec, the voice quality is very high. Widgets turn web visitors into virtual subscribers of the innovaphone PBX, and they recognize the availability of other PBX subscribers and enable audio and video calls. And now I will briefly switch to our website. So here you can see the widget live, and this is the widget sidebar view that you can see here. The widget slowly appears once the page has loaded, and you can see the availability of the contact on the bar next to the image. You can now click on the arrow on the bottom to extend the widget. And it shows the general company contact details like phone number, fax, email, or whatever you want to display. Here on this side, you can see another way of displaying our widgets. This is a format similar to a business card. It contains the same information as the extended widgets. Here you can see the sales team division that we set up just for our English-speaking colleagues. Now I switch back to the presentation. The big advantage of this widget is that you can see as many contacts as you want in any order. As soon as the first contact is no longer available, the widget jumps in real time to the second contact person, of course if this one is available. It continues to jump to the next available contact person until the last one is no longer available. The color of the bar then turns red. For example, you can specify the last contact to appear as the switchboard with a general email address like info@blah-blah-blah.com, thus giving the prospective customer one more chance to get in contact with you. And here again, you can see the extended view of the sidebar with all contact person's details. During a video call, the video image is shown in exactly this window. The page behind it remains visible, allowing the customer to still see the contact the content of the page that he wants to discuss. And a warning appears when you try to change to another page, as this would kill the connection. The sidebar view is suitable for special pages such as product selection, support, or hotline. The business card view is ideal if you want to show a group of contacts on your website. For example, contact person organized by company side or by business divisions such as sales, marketing, logistics, etc. You can place as many business cards as you like on your page. The business card design is responsive. That means that the number of cards side by side adjusts to the width of your browser. During a video call, the video image is shown within the business card. And here you can see a block diagram, and I show you how a call via WebRTC works. The web visitor connects to the company contact person who is available. The web server, the PBX, and the contact person's connections are all at the company. The innovaphone widget mainly consists of JavaScripts that the company stores and configures on its web server. They are loaded and started in the browser's runtime environment. The scripts display a Call Me button on the website showing the contact's availability. The website logs onto the PBX as a virtual subscriber and can immediately set up a connection once someone clicks on the Call Me button. The connection is made to the compatible counterpart on the innovaphone PBX via a headset and camera, as well as the WebRTC logs. The contact person at the company picks up the call on his phone at his desk. The MyPBX Toolbox provides the interface to the innovaphone PBX and communicates with it. The widget attached to a MyPBX Toolbox interface. They are toolbox applications. The widgets themselves do not have their own interface, and they are responsible for the function and the appearance. The MyPBX Toolbox can also provide additional interfaces for applications that you can develop yourself. The design is then up to you. You just have to invest more time into the development. So when creating an external subscriber via the internet, you must open your phone system from the local network and thus meet the new security requirements. And innovaphone implements the latest mechanism to best protect your PBX. As an example of the security, I want to show you the browser authentication on the PBX in detail. The browser on a laptop tells the telephone system that it wants to set up a connection. The web server gets the PBX to generate a key, and this server key is recreated for every single request. The client makes an additional key with its password and other data, which are only known to the PBX that has been connected. The password itself is always encrypted and cannot be spied out. The same key is generated on the PBX with the data that it expects from the client. And both results are compared then, and if necessary, the approval is issued. The call may now take place. Logging onto the PBX takes place via SHA method. SHA means secure hash algorithm, which does not transfer a readable password to the external subscriber. The fact that the keys change constantly makes unauthorized interception useless. The same key is never used twice for logging in. But this is not the only security mechanism. The voice connection via WebRTC to the innovaphone PBX takes place via DTLS and SRTP, which also makes it almost impossible to eavesdrop a conversation. In addition to the external subscriber is configured on the innovaphone PBX in such a way that he can only call the one particular counterparty. He cannot access the trunk line or any other phone numbers. And the visibility of internal subscribers can be protected and changed at any time. That means, for example, that a doctor's appointment is not displayed as such. It is only displayed as, for example, not available. Now we come to the installation, which is divided into 3 steps. I will briefly talk about the configuration of the PBX and explain the website extensions. And as a last step, you need to think about which employees you want to display on which page on your website. You can also find a detailed installation instruction on our partner portal of the innovaphone website. So first, a new user is created in the PBX. Choose the name so that it can be recognized later. An own telephone number or extension is not necessary as the user will not be called. It will only connect to the PBX. So you should assign a secure password for that. To further increase security, you can create filters and associate them with the new user. For example, you should block the trunk for external calls. And you can define as many positive or negative lists as you want. Licenses have to be imported in order for the whole thing to work. The WebRTC channel license is a dynamic license, which is not tied to a specific user. You need it for each voice channel that you would like to use simultaneously via WebRTC. So the number of licenses you need depends on how many calls via WebRTC you want to allow at the same time. So basically, how many call me buttons you have included on your website. The next step is to save the files to the web server. You can place the files anywhere you want, but you should keep attention that you keep the files together. The PHP files bring a special feature which has to be put in a directory that is accessible externally, for example, the root directory. Images for the contact persons that are to be displayed on the website, they must be created and stored. The CSS and JavaScript files must be inserted into the HTML file. And for the business card version, you need div containers for positioning. And here you can see the structure with your configuration data. You see the paths for PBX and authentication. The first path that you see here is the path to your PBX. And the second path is for authentication of your widgets. This is the PHP file that must be accessible externally. And at path prefix, you specify the directory where you save the files. Under company parameters, you enter your company data. The individual contacts are created under the supporters array with the respective information that you want to specify. And this array can be extended as required. At the end, you choose the format of the widget, a sidebar or a business card, or if you want, both. The text that is to be shown in the widget is created under the translation parameters. And this is important if your website supports different languages. The text which is located within the inverted commas can be edited and adjusted for the required language. And if you don't add anything, the default language is English. Now we move on to a short outlook at what you can expect in future in terms of WebRTC. We are currently developing our conference widget, and this tool will include the possibility of entering a PIN. And in addition to audio and video, application sharing will be supported. Within the widget, there will be a mute button, allowing you to switch off your own microphone so that no noise disturbs the conference. The widget is intended for webinars as well as all kinds of telephone and video conferences. In case you want to embed the widgets on your website straight after this webinar, I will explain the first steps of how to do this. So first, you must contact your web designer and ask whether he can appropriately extend the website and embed the widget according to the installation instructions. And then you must contact your PBX administrator as well and clarify whether you're using the latest version of the innovaphone PBX that does support the widgets. You must also clarify whether the WebRTC channel licenses have been integrated and the new external user has been created. And then you need to consult with your employees to decide who shall ultimately appear on the website. You need the consent that the staff member's name and photo are published. or like discuss how much detail is to be shown concerning the availabilities of employees. And you also need to define in which order will the employees be shown and on which pages. And also define the procedure when calls are received. So finally, a quick summary why the integration of the innovaphone widget is useful for you. The widgets, they improve the customer experience because only contacts who are really available at the moment will be shown on the website. From the very first moment, personal contact can be offered via your website. This means that prospective customers have a name and a face from the beginning. The widgets are really easy for customers to use as they are integrated in the browser and require just one click to make a connection. And for the customers, it's free, no call charges apply. And the widgets are protected by state-of-the-art encryption, and they are very easy to install.